Hi, welcome to this podcast where I'm going to look at something called a statement of affairs. Statement of affairs is quite commonly used in either incomplete records questions if we're looking at a sole trader or a partnership, and with clubs and societies. Clubs and societies, it's used to calculate the accumulated fund, whereas we'd be looking at opening or closing capital with some kind of commercial company. There isn't really a big difference between the accumulated fund and owner capital. Apart from owner capital is the money owing to a particular individual. So if you think about a partnership, each partner will have its own current account and their own capital account, and it's the money that they would expect to get out of the business if they decided to close it. No individual owns an accumulated fund. It's the difference between the assets and the liabilities for a club or society, but it's not owned to any particular individual. Okay, how do we do it? It's really, really simple. I don't think anybody will have a problem with it. Okay, here we've got the 2020 and the 2019 assets and liabilities of a business. We're going to calculate the opening capital, so make sure you use the right information. We've got some buildings that are worth 10,000, other receivables worth 600, cash worth 50, and bank, which is 2,000. So the total of the assets are 12,650. We've got two liabilities, so we need to have a list with our liabilities in, and therefore we've got total liabilities of 10,000. So depending upon whether we are doing a club and society or a sole trader or partnership, if it was a partnership, the difference between the two is 2,650, and that would be the opening capital. And if we're doing a club or society, we just put 2,650 for the opening accumulated fund. Put some questions down there for you to have a go at. And then if you jump on to the next part of the video, which completes the questions, we'll have a look at how we can use this technique sometimes to calculate profit. Okay, I won't bore you with where the figures have come from for the closing accumulated fund. I'm going to use the same figures for the opening accumulated fund we've already calculated. Here we can see there's a slight fall in the total assets of the business, and done the same thing here for the closing liabilities. And the opening capital for the business was 2,650. The closing has fallen to 2,100. And if we were asked to calculate the profit for the year now, okay, well, we've got some information here that's the drawings. And the easiest way to visualize this is to think of your capital account. Opening balance for capital account, which will be this 2,650. That will always go on the credit side. And we do know that the closing capital would be on the debit side as a balance CD. And we know what the drawings are. Well, at the end of the year, we credit the drawings account for the total of all the drawings, and we transfer them as a debit entry into the capital account. Okay, and looking down here now, the debit side is 7,100. The credit side is 7,100. It's going to have to be the same when the account's balanced, and therefore, instead of calculating the balance CD, which we normally do on a capital account, what I can now do is I can say, well, actually, the profit for the year, therefore, must have been 4,450. You can do it through formulas. I'll put the formula down here at the bottom, so you can use that if you want to. Profit or loss, if we know the opening and closing capital will equal the closing capital, add the drawings, because they're both on the debit side of the capital account, minus the opening capital, and potentially, if there's any in the question, minus any capital introduced. And if we were looking for a surplus or deficit in the income and expenditure account, if we're doing a club or society, well, the formula for that would be the surplus or deficit equals the closing capital minus the opening capital. And if, and I can't imagine a scenario where there would be in a clubs and societies or not-for-profit question, but minus any capital introduced would give us a surplus or a deficit. Again, there's a couple of questions down here for you to have a go at. If you are one of my students, if you're not, good luck. If you're one of my students, send the information back. Bye-bye.